Hello, my name is Jennifer, and thank you for coming to the third part of incorporating sources into your essays series. And so for the next one, we are going to focus on the quotation sandwich. And so there are some key elements to the quotation sandwich, which is your introduction, your quote, your citation, and your analysis. And so we're going to break down each of these parts and talk a little bit more about it. So introductions are extremely important when you are using quotes, paraphrases, or summaries. But when we're thinking of direct quotes, you want to make sure that when you have a direct quote, it is attached to a speaker. And so who said it? Introducing quotes includes stating who has said this quote and why are they relevant to your argument or your research or any of the kind of writing that you're doing, right? And so for our first example, Dr. Smith, a marine biologist from UCLA, argues, and then you would have a comma and go into your direct quotation. Or another example is the Center of Disease Control states, comma, then you would go into your direct quotation. You want to make sure that when you are having direct quotes that you attach a strong verb in that introduction. So here are some key examples: argue, assert, explain, state, emphasizes, point out. The list can go on. These are just a few examples. And so after you introduce your source, you attach a strong verb. And then what comes after that? Well, your quote. For your quotes, you want to pick a quote that is relevant to your argument and fits with the paragraph. As the previous first video stated, using ellipses helps eliminate unnecessary words or phrases from your quote. If it's too long of a quote, but some of the information is very important, then just remove the information that's not important. See the first video of this series for more on that. After you have your quote, you want to make sure that you have your in-text citation, and that is something that we covered in the first part and in part of the second part. And so after you quote and add your in-text citation, try asking yourself some of these questions when you move into your analysis portion. How does this fit with my argument? Do I need to clarify anything such as words or phrases in my quote? How can I connect their statements to my assertion? And how can I figure or further elaborate on what this person has said? So when you use a direct quote, it is key to incorporate analysis after that quote. You never want to rely on somebody else's words to make a point for you. You want to make sure that you explain those person's words and relate them back to your paper and what you are focusing on and writing about. So breaking down analysis part 2, analysis requires you to break down the quotation and examine its parts carefully in order to reach its meaning. And there's 2 ways of breaking this down. The first one is identify keywords or phrases that help to explain the significance of the quotation. You can use these keywords to help uncover its meaning and implications. You can italicize or quote these words into your analytical sentence. And you will use this step to think about the implications of the ideas in the quotation and provide your own commentary on its meaning. So that's you really breaking down the quotation itself. And then moving into the second part, you can state the quotation's relevance to your argument. This step is the most important. It ties your quotation back into the quotation that you're taking into the rest of your paper. This can be done in a variety of ways, but all include drawing a parallel between the quotation and your argument. Stating the quotation's relevance completes the argument and shows the reader that you have completed your thought. You should never, ever end a paragraph with a quotation without explaining its significance to your argument. That is key. And so here is a quick template that is really helpful when you have secondary sources and you're incorporating them into your paper. You will have the author and article title, plus a strong verb, plus a comma, plus your quote, plus a parenthetical citation. And here's an example. Dr. Karen Seymour, 2018, this is APA, argues excessive time spent on social media can become a social detriment for preteens. End your quotation and your in-text citation, period. And so we have all of these elements. Dr. Karen Seymour, 2018, that's our author. Argues, that's our strong verb. Then we have our direct quotation with the appropriate quotation marks pointing in the correct direction. And then we end it with our parenthetical citation or our in-text citation. And because Dr. Karen Seymour is in our signal phrase in the beginning, we don't have to include her last name in our in-text citation. We can just put the page number and then a period at the end. And then you move into your analysis, and that's it. You are done incorporating a source into your argument. Thank you so much for coming and viewing all of our parts. And please see the handout that's attached to these presentations, and we hope that these are helpful. Thank you so much and take care.